Hey everyone, it's Jenny from Created to Create Studios. When we last chatted, I said I was going to tell you kind of how some things were revealed to me during the first week or so of doing these classes. We talked a lot about, what makes our art different, what makes it unique. And there's a certain way that I used to draw when I wasn't copying something else. Well, all right, let me backtrack. All right, so since I decided to start calling myself an artist, what that has looked like is Jenny finding any pretty picture that she saw and trying to copy it, or somebody giving her a picture of their pet and her trying to copy it. I've tried everything from pouring to watercolors to acrylic crayons to soft pastels, the oil pastels, as I said. I've tried multimedia stuff. I have been all over the place in exploring subject matters, from the most depressing, dramatic things through my illness, me expressing my illness, and then, happy little bumblebees. I am all over. And for years I need to know my style. I have no standout anything. What's my signature anything? When I was taking that drawing class a few years back, that I didn't even make it through one semester. But that's what he kept saying. Does it even look like these 3 drawings were done by the same artist? And I knew that I needed that. Everywhere you go in art marketing, they talk about you having your thing. And I didn't have a thing for a long time. But then enter this program and thinking about it. And I kind of just felt God tell me, first of all, which ones do you like that you've done the past 4 years? Which processes have been the most fun for you to do, have brought you the most joy? Which ones have gotten the most positive responses from people? That sort of thing. So I started thinking, and this is where I backtracked from. I think it was, I don't even know what drawing it was. I think it was like just a person reaching up and a hand reaching down to help them, and flames underneath. And she's like, Mom, you always draw that. And she's right. And then suddenly God made it abundantly clear. I draw a lot of pictures that have to do with going from the dark into the light, from broken to whole, from the darkness in the tunnel and emerging. I do a lot of florals, and that has to do with growth. In butterflies I do, and that has to do with transformation. And I realized that by painting about those things, I am telling my story. My whole life has been about growth and transformation and dark times, and then coming into lighter times, and me following the darkness and me choosing to follow the light. And so we found the recurrent theme. So those themes are going to be in my future paintings. The first ones I've done so far, which I'm not allowed to show yet, are a little bit more illustrative in nature than what you were used to. But I don't think they're all going to be. I think the message is going to be much more subtle. It could be something as simple as a flower, as a symbol of growth. But as far as style, so I'm going to flip the camera around real quick. I can't let you go that way because you can't see my new paintings yet. So flip. People were really drawn to, look at my carpet. People were really drawn to my dark ones with the pops of light. So those will be remaining as part of my style going forward. There will be a lot of dark and light with bursts of color in much of my work. And then the second thing that is coming through, let me one more time. I don't know if any of you who were following me remember that last Lent, I took one canvas from my canvas graveyard every day. So a canvas that was old, wasn't very good, I didn't like it much. So I would take one of those canvases and I would put tissue paper and gesso and some light molding paste on it. And I would just start creating something new on the old canvas. This was my first time working with real texture. It was my first time using a palette knife. These 4D paintings done last Lent were definitely a lesson. I had never painted abstract. I had never painted on texture. So the idea of making a perfect line or getting something to look exact when you're painting on a bumpy, crinkled surface, it's like you can't even set yourself up for that. And for me, that was so freeing. It was like a release. You know, I don't have to try to be perfect. I don't have to try to stay in any lines. I can just start putting on color and see what I see. And I'm gonna flip you around. And here's some examples of those. You can see the texture. Let's see, we'll go side to side a little bit on these bad boys. Oh, and I had so much fun doing these. So much fun. There's more over here. You can see the texture. You can see the texture. So, not as extreme in texture, but every one of my canvases is going to be texturized before I start painting on it. So we are going to be sticking a lot with the dark and light and a burst of color. We are going to be sticking with the textured surface to be working on. We are going to be sticking with using both brush and palette knife for the more abstract parts of the painting. So I'm actually going to be combining a couple styles that I've been doing these past 4 years into something new going forward. In the first couple of weeks, I keep saying I'm so sorry. First couple of weeks of the program, I think we're up to 22 now though. 22 sketches already of paintings that I'm to be doing. And I was kind of led not to show any of the pieces until I had the full body of work, which in my mind keeps saying 20. So when I have 20 pieces done, I'll be able to start showing it. But until then, you'll just have to keep hanging on and following along. Next week, I'm going to tell you guys why God didn't want me to be showing you guys, or at least why I think. Thanks for joining me. Hope to see you on my next vlog. Bye, guys.